Boys and girls, I ran out of time in that short video, so here's the wrap up of part 1 of 10.3. We just talked about the North, South, and the West, and how sectionalism was created because of differences in the following items. Number 1, geography, different lay of the land or topography. Economy, how people made money, right? In the West, we have agriculture, but corn and wheat. In the South, we had cotton. And in the North, factories, banks, manufacturing, and money. All those things would add up. Don't forget the influence of history and culture as well. On to the next little section. So as our country would grow, we would continue pushing out west, right? Taking over those lands that Native Americans once had. And the statehood of Missouri began to become a question. They wanted to join the United States. Remember, according to the Northwest Ordinance, you only needed 60,000 people to apply to become a state. Well, they were there. So here's the story. Slave states or free states? Would Missouri, this state here, become a slave or a free state? Great question, right? The current situation in Congress was as follows. The House of Representatives, there was 105 representatives in the North and 81 in the South. Advantage the North. In the Senate, remember, 2 representatives per state. Each gets 11 representatives, right? 11 slave states, 11 free states. They don't get 11 representatives, I misspoke. They get 22 slave state reps, 22 free state reps, okay? So that balance of power was very essential to have in place so that the North couldn't stop Southern laws from being made, and the South couldn't stop Northern laws from being made. So that balance was essential, and that is why Missouri would cause a problem. Let's move on. Remember, people from Tennessee and Kentucky over here, the eastern portion of Missouri, would have children, right? And they would want their land and space, so they would move out west. So they would bring their ideas with them, anti-slavery and pro-slavery ideas. So this question, would Missouri become slave or free, would be huge going forward. All right, so there had to be some kind of compromise to keep the balance. Henry Clay of the West came up with this idea to allow for a balance of power to remain. And here's your last point. We wanted to have 12 slave states and 12 free states in the Senate, right? So to do that, Missouri, right here, would become a slave state, and Maine, way up here, Maine would become a free state. Okay, Maine would become the free state. So this is an important note here. Because new territories would eventually want statehood, and the question of slavery would obviously continue, right? The next new state, would it become slave or free? So it was only a temporary solution. That's the key for today on the Missouri Compromise. We needed a balance of power in government. If Missouri became a slave state, what would become free to balance it out? Well, that would be Maine. But then when the next state would become entered in the Union, would they or would they not have slavery? So it was temporary. All right, so there's that part. On to your assignment now. You can put your digital notes away. So in this folder, like I said before, Unity and Sectionalism, you will find your vocabulary sheet. Here it is. Your job is simple today. Start it. If you want, you can finish it up, but I want you to at least start it. And when you start it, use the word bank up here to solve the problems. Don't be afraid to use Google to help answer some of those questions. Then at the bottom, please choose one of the 2 options. Only one. You can do both, but you need to do one for sure. All right, that's it for today. I'll catch you in the next lesson where we'll finish up talking about the Monroe Doctrine. Cheers.